Hey guys, it's Marla at Twinstrology. Welcome back. This is your Twin Flame Divine Love Energy Report for the Capricorn Full Moon that's happening on July 8th and 9th, depending upon where you are in the world. And this is going to be a very important full moon, which I'm going to talk about in a second. If you would like a personal reading with me, please visit my website, which is twinstrology.com. Please follow me on Facebook at Twinstrology for my latest offerings. And I just want to say a quick few words about the workshop that I was blessed to be a part of this weekend, and that was Twin Flames Together 11/11. That was organized by Dio Veselinoff. And it was just such an amazing experience. I can't even begin to tell you. It was just really an exceptional group of people that inspired me with their love and their strength, their dedication to being a twin flame, to their own spiritual growth and evolution, the abundance of information that we were able to share with each other. Just outstanding. And the love and the heart connections that were there, absolutely incredible. I've never experienced anything like it. I'm still kind of high from the experience. My heart energy is still really huge. If you couldn't make it, maybe next time. We're going to have more of these. It was that amazing that we want to share it with more people. So stay tuned for more information about that. I'm just thinking if there's anything else I want to say. There's something right on the tip of my tongue. But like I said, I haven't really come down to earth yet, guys. Oh, I think, okay, what I wanted to say was, we think of heart connections. Think about our twin flame and the amazing heart connection that we have with them. But this conference and us as a group coming together really showed that we're here to share heart connections and love with everyone that crosses path with us. This energy, this heart energy, which is coming to us in this big wave very soon. Like, it's just getting stronger and stronger. Don't limit yourself to just your twin. It's about sharing it with the world and inspiring other people through it. All right, so now let's talk about the full moon. I'm going to do this video a little bit different today. You can see I'm outside. No chimes in the background today. I'm just going to have the bird song, maybe a few airplanes flying overhead. And I don't have any notes either. So I'm going to be channeling my higher self. And I also have representatives of the lion people here. And so I'm just going to see what comes through. I'm debating whether I want to put my sunglasses on or not, because I'm going to have my eyes closed most of the time. Ironically, I can see better with my eyes closed. So I guess I'll leave them off, though, for right now. Okay, so the full moon in Capricorn. Full moons are always moon-sun opposition, and they're a time of releasing. The moon's going to be at 17 degrees Capricorn, and the sun is going to be at 17 degrees of Cancer. And what I'm being told is that this full moon is very important because it is already ushering in the energy of what is known as the Lion's Gate. Most people are familiar with the Lion's Gate, has the energy of 8/8 or August 8th. But in fact, the Lion's Gate is much more expansive than that one day. I'm being told that the Lion's Gate is going to be from July 26th to August 26th. That is when we're going to feel the most energy. But like I said, the energy of the Lion's Gate is already coming through right now with this full moon. Now, why? Is because the moon is going to be conjunct the fixed star Vega. And Vega is part of the Lyran system, the Lyran nebulous ring. And this is where the lion people come from primarily, although they've spread out to many galaxies. And they are also especially connected to the fixed star Sirius, which is where the sun is going to be conjunct. Vega is at 15 degrees of Capricorn. Sirius is at 15 degrees of Cancer. And these are fixed stars. They're always in opposition to each other. But these two stars are very connected to the lion people. Now, the energy of this full moon is for you to release that energy, which is going to not serve you any longer with the opening up of this energetic portal. This energetic portal, called the Lion's Gate, is bringing with it an incredible wave of energy that is about opening up our heart centers. So the focus at this full moon is going to be, what energy are you carrying that is not allowing you to open up your heart to the fullest? Now, the planet Pluto is going to be very involved in this full moon. Pluto is at 18 degrees Capricorn. He's going to be conjunct the moon, oppose the sun, and just coming out of an opposition with Mars. Many of you are feeling or have felt, I'm recording this on the 6th of July, so I'm still a few days ahead of the full moon. We are in that opposition of Mars-Pluto, which many of you are feeling. And this is helping you, again, look at the releasing. Let me back up a minute. Because Pluto is our shadow side and what we need to let go of, what we need to see about ourselves. It also has to do with power, control, secrets, what kinds of things are hidden, burying things, trying to hide things. So with the Mars-Pluto energy, some of you might be releasing things about ego. What is it about your ego that you still need to let go of that is somehow going to block you from this huge heart awakening that's going to be happening at this upcoming portal? Mars is our will, our willpower, our drive. Of course, these energies, the Mars-Pluto, represent the masculine energies. Sorry, it's distracting me. So some of the energies that you'll be facing, what you need to release around your drive. Are you trying to push for things too hard? Sexual energy. I wrote a post yesterday. I had information that told me that the masculine energy is releasing some old sexual templates having to do with moving from, using sex to just has a release, has control, has manipulation, all those old energies, and moving it to a more elevated place where we need soul connection now, to want to have that sexual connection with someone. It's not just going to be about wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, or putting another notch on your belt or whatever. It's moving to a place of love. And so that energy is definitely Pluto Mars as well. And stepping into your power, of course. Using power and control. Wanting to be your authentic self, which also is in alignment with the Sun being in opposition to Pluto. And often with Sun Pluto, we want to hide ourselves, or we want to give our power away. But right now, we are focusing on ways to empower ourselves. That's a lot of the work that we did this weekend at Twin Flames Together, was empowering ourselves. At the last new moon, the new moon in Cancer, I talked about our emotional patterns and triggers. And with the moon conjunct Pluto, we're able to let go and release those emotional triggers now. We're coming into a more solid place of balance. And we need to do that because, like I said, there's this big wave of energy coming in that is expanding our heart centers. And we want to be in a balanced place for that energy. We want to use this portal to our advantage. So let go of these old energies and allow the new to come in. How I saw it is like how they showed it to me the other day was like a nuclear bomb. When a nuclear bomb goes off and it kind of goes in a big wave out. Well, that's how I saw it. Only instead of, explosion and fire, it was light and love just expanding out over the planet. So this Lion's Gate is going to be a big shift. People waking up, that sort of thing. Which has been going on for a while. But this is going to be very powerful. Diamond frequencies coming in. Now going back to the Pluto and the letting go and things, the fixed star Sirius is connected to liberation. And this is what we're doing. We're liberating ourselves from that which no longer serves. My soul sister at the conference had a big release around slavery, which is a form of being imprisoned, and how we can liberate ourselves from that. One of the ways we keep ourselves imprisoned is through our own belief systems. So we're needing to shift our thought process right now in a huge way. Letting go of the programs. And for me, what I felt was, I felt more of a liberation from ego. And I had a strong look at how the ego keeps us imprisoned by all its belief systems and programming. So that's another area where we're liberating ourselves. You know, I mentioned the sexual, I'm going to say sexual energies, it's not the right word. Our sexual programming, okay, needing to liberate ourselves from that and elevate it. So at this full moon, think about where you're liberating yourself. Okay, so let me talk a little bit more about the Lion's Gate. So I mentioned that we're going to have this big wave of energy. This is going to be diamond frequencies coming in. I mentioned the time period. This has to do with activations, especially around the Sphinx and the pyramids. Now, the Lion people, I mentioned that they've been here since the beginning, and they had a very, very strong influence in ancient Egypt, and that is obvious through the ancient Egyptian culture, through things like the Sphinx, the goddess Sekhmet and Bastet, the worship of cats, and yes, it's all feline peoples. And so this energy is very much in alignment with ancient Egypt and how things are aligning within the pyramid and Sphinx. As I already mentioned, this is all about opening our heart centers. My heart right now is like, it hurts. It's so open. So, a small taste, I think, of what's going to be occurring. So yes, use this time to prepare, to get ourselves ready. And there's a Lion's Gate every year. But what I'm being told from them, the Lion people, is that this year is especially important because we have the North Node in Leo. And this is what they've been waiting for. This is what is increasing the activations. Now, Leo, of course, ruled by Lion, ruled by the sun, and rules the heart. The North Node rules our destiny. And so this is assisting with the special alignment that is taking place. That's allowing this heart connection to happen and expanding our courage as well. And the Lion people are very gentle people. They're always willing to help you if you call on them. Again, they are very ancient. They are keepers, guardians of the planet, and they are here to help with the ascension process. with the heart expansion and assisting us in developing our courage, which again at this time is helping us to become our true, authentic selves and to have the courage to make changes in our life. We're being called, all of us, to make changes in our life. And they can assist us with courage and with our divine mission and purpose. All right, so there'll be more about the Lion's Gate being shared with us as we get closer to it. But we're in this important lead-up energy right now. All right, let's talk about some of the cards that I pulled. Now I'm using a new deck. Just got it. Thank you to my soul brother Dio, who gave me these cards as a birthday present. And like I said, I don't know them. I'm not familiar with them. It's The Enchanted Map by Colette Barton Reed, yet I felt drawn to use these cards today. So I may have to read from the book, which I don't really like to do, but because I'm not really as familiar with them as I'd want to be, we're just going to have to roll with that. All right, so for the Divine Feminine, the first card is called Movement. You are in a time of positive forward motion. This is the time for positive momentum as you come out of a period of restriction. You're in a stage of new adventure and discovery. You may feel compelled to take a trip, change your hair, or move your home or business. Regardless, you can't remain where you are anymore. You feel compelled to go forward. No matter what your inquiry, you will see your dreams take form and doors previously shut begin to open as if by magic. Movement is also a state of mind. The fog lifts, and you now know the actions you need to take. This isn't the time for fear. Let it go and move forward. Many of you, I'm sure, are happy to hear that. Because we felt held back in a lot of ways, and we've been chomping at the bit for change. And yet we've been told that it's not the right time. And for the last several readings, the message that I got was, do nothing. Wait. Go within. Prepare yourselves. But now it's getting to be time where forward motion is going to be happening. Sorry, I'm just thinking. I know that there's more that I wanted to say, but maybe I'll have a chance to bring it through as the reading comes about. The other message for the Divine Feminine was coming to life. Something beautiful is being born in your life. When you look at your life, can you see how you've grown and evolved over time? Perhaps you've shed skins, an identity, and created new ones, or at the very least matured in your ideas about yourself and the world you inhabit. You know things take time, and Spirit's timetable is rarely in sync with our own. This card indicates that a long-held dream is beginning to show signs of life. You must try not to coax it along or shape it according to your desires. Spirit knows the best form for the manifestation of this dream, and your life can become even better than you could possibly imagine. Now is the time for reverence and awe. Allow the contours of your path to be carved by the hands of the divine. All you have to do is show up. So I know that you all are familiar with this message. Your dreams are coming true. It's just on the divine schedule and not on your schedule. And it can be frustrating. It can feel like we're not moving forward, like things aren't coming together. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The reading I did the other day, I got the message that a lot of what we think we know is an illusion. And one of those illusions is that nothing's happening, that nothing is working in your favor. But that, again, couldn't be further from the truth. There's so much going on an energetic level, and the universe is aligning things. The universe is always aligning things for us. And they're actually smoothing the path, making the path as easy for us as possible, even though we can't see that in the moment. So let go of the frustration and see that forward momentum is coming. You have not been forgotten. The divine feminine has done an amazing amount of work, and you're going to be rewarded for your service. Have no doubt about that. But just know that you don't need to push. You don't need to coax. You just need to use your divine feminine energy, which is about allowing this to come through. Okay, so we have to see ourselves as spiritual warriors. And Mars is going to be very much involved. Mars is involved in this full moon, and Mars is going to be involved in the new moon, and I believe in the eclipse energies. This is the warrior energy. And so many of us are tired. But this is where we bring in the warrior and we push through this and we remember the vows that we made to assist with the ascension process. So don't give up. Find that strength within. At the same time, knowing that you don't need to push for it. It's a balancing act. But so much is about balancing in this world. The message is from the romance angels for the divine feminine. The first one is soulmate. Yep, this is your soulmate. You've had this card plenty of times recently. The next one is codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So divine feminine, there's some of you that are still needing to let go. You're still suffering from codependency. You're still seeking validation from the masculine energy. And so look within and really ask yourself if this is you. And use this time, this full moon, to release that energy and those patterns. I posted something the other day the thing on the masculine releasing sexual templates. And I felt like that post really triggered a lot of the divine feminine. So many people asked, what does this mean? Does this mean they're going to be with another person? Does this mean they're going to, be having sex with other people? And that couldn't have been further than what I meant. So I was confused as to why that triggered so many people. Because I see it as a good thing, as a blessing, as leaving these casual encounters to focus on developing heart connection with another before we're ready to share intimacy with them. But it let me know that there's still releasing of codependency from the divine feminine collective. Part of this not pushing is about letting them go. Let your partner go. If you have trust and you have faith, then you're not concerned about letting go because you trust what your heart's been telling you. So take a look. Take a look if that energy is you, if you are the divine feminine. The energy for the divine masculine. The first card is Dragon's Lair. You are always protected and divinely directed. You have a remarkable internal warning system that lets you know when things are out of alignment. You are about to enter dangerous territory, so tread carefully and be aware of your surroundings. The path you're on now is one that will challenge you to the core. That said, peril is also exciting and exhilarating. Like the danger you feel before you enter a new relationship, knowing that you'll be changed forever. A life lived fully isn't lived only in safety. A new experience is calling to you, one that will test your courage. The choice is yours, but there is greater value in risk-taking than in remaining unchallenged. New territories are waiting to be discovered. All right, divine masculine. This is your moment to shine. You are getting challenged. You're being pushed to expand yourself, to break free of your shackles. Going back to my sister that had the experience of freeing the collective from our shackles. And that was a lot of energy for the divine masculine and freeing you from your chains. Yet that is a deeply confronting experience. But many of the divine feminine, the majority of the divine feminine, have walked that path, and we've freed ourselves of so many things. And now it's your turn to free yourself. And what to see about your situation is that the chains that you're feeling at this time are your own chains. Nothing can stop you from changing your life except your own thought patterns and beliefs. And this is why Twin Flames are here, to break these old patterns, to break away from the illusion, to break away from our ego, and to begin living from our hearts. So remember this big wave of energy that's coming in. This is really going to help you, the divine masculine, shift. So what you should be focusing on at this full moon, looking at what is inside of yourself that makes you feel stuck. that makes you feel like you're imprisoned. Let's talk about some of those things, right? Could be a karmic relationship. I know from talking to many masculine energies, from doing readings for masculine energies, a big thing is children. And feeling like you can't let your children down. But that is a lot of old programming, believing that you have to stick things out no matter what. And I suppose I could probably do a whole hour-long video just talking about that programming of, if you're married to someone, if you have children, that you must stay there at any cost, even if you surrender your own happiness. Because when you surrender your own happiness, what are you doing? You're shutting down your heart. And if your heart is not open, you can't ascend. You're shutting down your creative abilities. You're shutting down your ability to love. And I would challenge you to ask yourself if that is the legacy that you want to leave your children. Because children are what they see their parents doing. If you're in a loveless relationship, or if you are detached from your relationship emotionally, if you feel frustration in your relationship, if you are not being your truth, your full authentic self in your relationship, that is what you're teaching your children. And I would say that is not a good lesson for them. Rather, we should teach our children to follow their heart, to follow true love, to embrace who they are, to accept every part of themselves, to not live for other people and other people's desires. And often when we stay in situations that we're not meant to stay in, it's not even like we're living there for our partner. It's more that we're staying there because what will other people think of us? What will other people think if they know that my relationship is not how I've projected? And at times, we've projected an image. This is ego idea that we have to project a certain image of what society says. So those are not good reasons to stay shackled. The masculine is called to stand up now, to stand up and be authentic, as the feminine has and will continue to do. But yes, that is deeply confronting. Let's look back at what the card said. A life lived fully isn't lived only in safety. We're not meant to always play it safe. When we live in safety, again, our heart gets shut down because we're not expanding, we're not growing, we're not challenging ourselves. It's stepping out of our comfort zone that really brings the growth that is required at this time. The choice is yours. There is a greater value in risk-taking than remaining unchallenged. So, very much the masculine is also going to be focused on their growth. And there's other reasons why you would choose to stay where you are, of course. Financial reasons. I already talked about appearances, which means becoming real, showing who you really are instead of projecting that image. Just being afraid in general to open your heart, to expand yourself, having to face your own inner fears. Perhaps some of you are dealing with issues of feeling like a failure. All these things are belief systems and templates of the ego and that are man-made. The spirit is free. The spirit is free to be its authentic self in every moment. That is how we're meant to live. So the second card for the masculine is solitude. I am comfortable in my own skin as I detach to replenish my soul. Meditation is required when you receive the solitude card as a sign. Empty your mind of superfluous thoughts and allow stillness to flow through your whole being. This is not an advantageous time to ask questions or push forward in any way. Rather, it's a period of conscious retreat. What's called for now is to step back and take your focus off your life and your troubles. You'll be surprised by how things sort themselves out once you've replenished your energy by means of a much-needed rest and time out. Okay. So we can see how these two cards are going together. Because you're being asked to stay within, because you've been asked to do this for at least a month now, if not longer. We all have. To go within, find yourself, get in touch with your soul, get in touch with your higher self, follow your own inner guidance, and to rest. And I do want to say to everybody that around the time of the full moon, there are going to be DNA upgrades, changes, also preparing us for the Lion's Gate and the diamond frequency energies that are going to be coming in, or the Christ consciousness energy, which is also connected to Sirius. And of course, at those times of DNA changes, we're asked to rest. So taking that time for yourself is so important. And so you are being challenged for this. And what the message is saying to you is, do this, rest and go within. Because it's here in this place that you're going to connect to your higher self. That you're going to get the answers, the downloads that are going to tell you how to shift out of these situations. And the message here is also let go of the mind control. Again, the programming, the fears that's saying, telling you what you have to do. And just be quiet and get clear. Because once the fears slow down, that's going to change your energy. Remember, your thoughts are creating your reality. So if you're going through a lot of stress and struggle and fear mode, you're going to create chaos around you. If you get rest, if you get your mind quiet, this is going to allow the universe to help you see through the illusions and to help things shift into your favor. Because for both the masculine and the feminine, this is just a fated time. This is destiny happening. We don't have to do much. The biggest thing that we have to do is open our hearts, which is going to be helped, which is going to be assisted very soon by the incoming frequencies. But be able to step back and step out of some of the programming so that we're just open to allowing the changes, which means getting out of that fear and that, when your mind spins around out of control. When we step away from that, it's really opening things up, and things will doors are going to open for both the masculine and feminine. Again, let go of the illusions, because things are aligning in perfect order. The message from the romance angels for the masculine energy: romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay, so what I'm picking up for the masculine energy is there's still a lot of doubt as far as the connection. And maybe going back and forth. Is this person the one or aren't they the one? Is this my soulmate or aren't they the soulmate? Maybe not being sure. We all struggle with doubts at times. But in your heart. So the romance angels are saying, yes, your feelings are real. It's not your imagination. You aren't making things up. And it's okay to explore them in whatever way that takes, whatever way that is for you. The second card from the romance angels is trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Okay, so these very much go together with what I just said. Stop letting your ego make you question your feelings about the connection. You know what the truth is inside. If you get into your heart space, you're going to know the truth. The fears that you're feeling about stepping forward towards that person or opening your heart to that person is all ego fears. Fears of rejection. Doubting your feelings. Perhaps doubting that your feelings will be returned. And every one of us has gone through this, male or female. But just trust. Again, it comes down to seeing the ego for what it is, stepping out of the programs that are running in your head about how things should be, how they have to be. And getting quiet, getting still, trusting, and opening up to the experience. And by doing that, all you're really doing is just allowing the divine and the energy to take care of things. Where otherwise you're in resistance. And when you're in resistance, you're creating a lot of issues in a lot of different areas in your life. So trust yourself. The energy of union. Unexpected visitors. Well, I shouldn't say I've never used these cards, because I did a reading for myself and I did a reading for a friend, and both times this card came up. I will read it. Bear with me one second. If you expect the unexpected, you'll be prepared for miracles. Detours, surprises, and paradigm shifts. Expect the unexpected. No matter how detailed your plans are and how clear you believe the road ahead to be, there are times when the best plans are waylaid by unforeseen circumstances. At first, details may seem inconvenient, but a surprise turn of events signals that the adventure of a life is beginning to get interesting. Let me say that again. But a surprise turn of events signals that the adventure of life is beginning to get interesting. No one can plan for synchronicity, for fate or destiny to meet, except spirit. Who knows what you can't comprehend for now? Life is full of surprises. Stay on your toes and enjoy this exciting new adventure you weren't expecting. There is a plan for your life that may not match up with your agenda. Expect the unexpected. Okay, so lots of things to say about this card. For the feminine, releasing control, letting go of your twin, just staying open, releasing your expectations about how this is going to unfold, the who, what, when, where, why, and staying in the present moment. For the masculine, again, for you guys too, letting go of control and just letting things be, surrendering to everything. We all have a hard time letting go of control. But again, illusions, those words are coming to me. Now, somebody asked me what I meant by that, because they felt that illusions was disconcerting. To feel that your life is an illusion. I mean this in a good way. By what this card means. You can't see the whole picture. You can't see the 40,000-foot view that your higher self can see. So your plans in your mind are way smaller and way limited than what spirit is planned for you. Your ego is very, very limiting. That's why we're breaking free of some of those old restrictions. Because it's time to expand. So just let spirit lead the way. No expectations. And this Lion's Gate, detours, surprises, and paradigm shifts is pretty accurate description of what I'm getting. So just allow yourself to be open. That's all. surrender that control. From the angels, the romance angels, the cards for union. The first one, past life relationship. You have known each other before. The energy that's coming in is also expanding our multidimensionality. And we are not just here in this 3D reality living a life. We are in so many different places and dimensions. And things that we know of as past lives, yes, but they're also now, and they're also connected. Everything is connected. And many of what you're going to be breaking free from is related to past lives. So opening up to that energy of the past lives. So much of our programming and how we limit ourselves is based on that, on past lives and the very difficult situations that we faced. But they were learning experiences for this moment. And that's one of the ways that we're bringing in that multidimensionality. The second card from the Romance Angels for Union is New Love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. I had this card last week when I did that little reading, New Love. And so this is just confirmation for me. I got it in a couple of readings that I did recently as well. It's not that there's a new person coming in. It's that how we love is changing. Through the energy of the Lion's Gate and the heart expansions, the DNA upgrades, the releasing of prior limitations. You know, Sirius is the cosmic heart. It's connected to Christ consciousness. And this is unconditional love. And so this is the new love. The ability to love unconditionally. The ability to love someone enough to say, I let go of you. I'm going to allow you to choose what you want. And if, you know, that's not me, then I'll still love you. And that's okay. I'm okay with your choice. It's, like I said earlier, connecting this heart to all people, not just your twin flame or your divine partner. It's living your life in a state of unconditional love. All right. That's all I'm going to say, I think. It's exciting. And okay, so I know that I just triggered some of you by saying unconditional love is loving someone enough to let them go and to let them make their own choices. And so now I'm going to get a bunch of emails or messages or comments saying, what did you mean by that, Marla? Does that mean I'm not coming together with my twin? Does that mean I have to forget about them? And that's not what I meant at all. But you're not going to bring your twin to you through manipulation, through force. Because the more you push them to come to you, the further they're going to move away from you. That's just the physics of the connection. And so it's only through the letting go that you can bring them or you allow them into your life. And yet, you can't really let go fully until you get to unconditional love. Because until then, you're still in fear. And so speaking of liberation, for the divine feminine, for many of you, there's this belief that if you're not standing over your twin's shoulder, if you're not tapping them on the shoulder all the time, hello, I'm here, messaging them, reaching out to them, energetically connecting with them, that they're going to forget about you, that they're going to choose someone else. That is your own fear. And if this is resonating with you as something that you're experiencing, probably related to a past life, then this is showing you that this is something that you need to work on releasing right now. If you trust in the twin flame dynamic, and you know that you're one soul and that it's a connection of physics, then you know in your heart that your twin is not going to forget about you. So don't let what I said trigger you. See it in the bigger picture. And how it's that trust and faith and unconditional love that allows you to let go, that allows your twin to make their choice, and trusting them to make the right choice. If you don't trust your twin flame, then you're not trusting yourself on some level. Okay, Journey of Love cards. Hopefully this isn't super long. The card for the feminine energy is called the Pearl Threaded. Though we labor through the illusions of individuality and have to face our inner challenges in solitude, our spiritual transformation is not an independent event, nor is it for our victory alone has reapproached the enlightened way of all-embracing love. Each human being is a pearl on the Divine Mother's garland, gradually assuming luster and revealing beauty, worth, and radiance over many lifetimes. Together we are creating a precious offering in return for her gift of life. We can learn to draw on the collective effort to allow our own journey to become integrated into the journey of the group without being weighed down and instead to be lifted up. To do this, we honor the thread that connects each of us as one divine being, just like the various fingers that belong to the one hand. Then we honor the pearl essence of our divine nature, that we are capable of growth and transformation, becoming divine beauty. This oracle brings you a message. You are to shift your perspective to allow all groups that you are involved in to become a source of energetic lifting rather than depletion. If a group you are involved in cannot do this for you, then you may not be in vibrational resonance, and it may be time to seek a group that is more energetically supportive of your vibration. Trust your feelings and don't be scared to open up and allow yourself to connect with others. That way you can truly know if a group or gathering is for you, or if you need to move on. But do trust that you're not alone on your journey, and the soul connections that will nourish you, you will draw them like strands of pearls on the Divine Mother's necklace. Okay. This reminds me very much of another card I pulled in the reading last week, which was, I believe we had communion and friendship. So for the Divine Feminine, you're being asked to, again, focus on the bigger picture, making heart connection with others, but looking at the people around you and asking yourself if they're supporting you or if they're depleting you. Are some of them energetic vampires? Are there people in your life and your family that are not supporting you in all your growth and are in some way bringing you down? It's a time for us to look at this sort of thing. There's likely to be some changes around you, letting people go so that new people can come in. And that's okay. We all are one. But we can change who is on that strand next to us. It doesn't have to always be the same people. And finding others that are like-minded is important right now. And that is something that I experienced firsthand this weekend, how important it is to make not just connections, but face-to-face, heart-to-heart connections with people. And how that can shift you like no other thing. So looking at the people around you. For the Divine Masculine, your message is legacy of light. You are called to bear light, to carry forward the legacy of a spiritual lineage of wisdom and deep service to the earth. You are part of that spiritual lineage, a belonging that extends through generations past and generations to come. Honor the importance of your task and realize that you are a light bearer, that you carry a legacy of consciousness and embodiment of light upon this earth, to share for the betterment of future generations. May the ancestors of your lineage bless you with unconditional love and devotion as you carry the light forward now. Blessed be. This oracle says to you that you have connected more powerfully with a source of spiritual guidance and instruction that is helping you fully activate your divine life mission and purpose. It is confirmation that however you are choosing to live your life is in service to the light, whether it be obviously so to others or not, and that your personal growth and spiritual path are helping the great human soul evolve. You are acknowledged as a jewel of light upon this earth, an important link in a heavenly chain of divine awakening. This oracle brings confirmation, if needed, that relationship issues that are arising for you now are not only about your own personal healing, but about healing the emotional legacy of your ancestral lines. To do this, you may wish to journal, dance, or meditate, or dedicate a yoga practice to the healing of your ancestral inheritance, and ask that your own relationships be assisted through the karmic grace of your ancestors to step into more consciousness of love now. Okay, so there's a lot there for you masculine energies. First of all, a confirmation, if you don't already know, that you have a huge role to play here in the ascension. This is not just the feminine doing this. We need you And you are being called more than ever to be a source of light in this world, to see that you're needed, to hear the call of your higher self, and to take action towards that. That relationship issues that are arising for you are part of not only your healing, but the healing of your ancestral line. So this is about clearing templates, family templates, the templates of your ancestors. And your family karma, if you will. And that is basically the things that you were taught as you were raised. And some of them might relate to the things that I talked about already and the shift that you're going through and maybe breaking away from karmic relationships. And some of your fears around that based on how you were raised or how other people are going to see you. You know, what is your family going to think if you follow the calling of your higher self? And I know, I'm sure, because I heard it from the masculine that was represented at the conference this weekend, they very much confirmed that the higher self is in touch with the divine masculine. And you're getting messages, and you're getting told what you need to do. And part of that reason is actually clearing away those fears. So don't let those ancestral patterns, and for many, this is like, I stay in my marriage no matter how miserable I am because that's just what we do. Or there's so many family patterns. I drink to escape my troubles because that's what we do. I don't express my emotions because that's how my family is. I'm very much attached to, not me personally, but just saying as an example, if you're very much attached to your mother and father and being told what to do by your mother and father, or needing validation from your mother and father, that's another thing. So know that the challenges that you're facing, the steps you're being guided to take, are not just about you, but they're affecting your whole family line, changing that energy for the positive, and changing that energy for your children so that your children can break free of some of those negative patterns, belief systems, programmings, addictions. You're helping shift your children out of that. And that's going to assist your children because our children have very special roles to play. And we want to keep them awake and in touch with their own higher self. I think I'm going to end it there. I just want to say too, I'm also getting the message crystals can help here. So get some crystals if you don't have any, or if you're not used to using crystals, just try bringing them into your practice. And I feel like they will help you with the energy, help you balance your energies. Excuse me. All right, I think I've talked enough. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you would like a personal reading with me, my website is Twinstrology. And happy Capricorn Full Moon. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.